Hello, comadres, and welcome to the full moon report in Pisces. Welcome, welcome. If this is your first time here, thank you for coming to this space. We get together twice a month on the new moon and the full moon, and we discuss how these phases of the moon help us to reflect, to self analyze, to get manifest, and to kind of move in the direction of our dreams. So if it's your first time here, welcome, welcome. And thank you, comadres, for coming back and always supporting this report. I am always so full to share space with you. So we'll get started with the full moon in Pisces that happened yesterday. It was 7:54 Eastern Standard Time. And last night, the full moon brought in an interesting energy. Because we have a Mercury retrograde that's happening so close to this full moon on the 26th of September, this full moon, I kind of perceive it as if it came in to kind of give us a sort of a spiritual map as to how to navigate the themes that probably have already been coming in for you about the retrograde that is happening, the Mercury retrograde that's happening in about a week or so, maybe less. So, it comes kind of in the undertones of this retrograde that's going to happen, because this retrograde is so intense in the area of relationships. So I'm going to begin first by discussing this retrograde a little bit, and then I'm going to go into how Pisces then fits into this whole puzzle. So the retrograde is happening in the sign of Libra. What's going to be highlighted here are relationships and behaviors and dynamics around our relationships. It is going to show us a little bit about the shadow aspect of our relationships. A lot of things may come up in that kind of way because Venus is in Scorpio. And when Venus is in Scorpio, she can be a little manipulative. There can be a lot of codependency, a lot of game playing, a lot of attachments going on with this. And because this retrograde is also happening in Libra, she was in Libra before Scorpio, and now the pre-shadow has passed where she is and now is going to return back. So we're talking about behavior patterns that may come up that may show us how we game play, how we power struggle in our relationships, and how we may manipulate each other in some way. So we're looking themes around people pleasing. Libra tends to keep the peace, even if it's at the sake of themselves. And it's one of the shadow aspects of Libra. And because of that, we're going to be looking at things where maybe we keep the peace in spite of ourselves or despite of ourselves. And the past can be floating in terms of relationships. So you may be getting, reuniting with old friends, getting, hit up by your old boyfriend or old girlfriend. Maybe you're, dealing with memories from the past that are coming up that are showing you certain behavior patterns that have been going on in a certain relationship or in several relationships. So stay observant and stay aware and stay really, really real with yourself, because these things may be coming up and they may be uncomfortable, but they're coming up for closure. And you might miss the opportunity to really move into these spaces of realness with yourself in terms of relationships. If we can use these retrogrades, a lot of people, when we say Mercury retrograde, maybe for the newer comadres, when we say Mercury retrograde, It's when the planet of Mercury appears to be going backwards in the solar system in a certain constellation, in a certain sign. And these themes that are in these signs will come up, being that it is in Libra. Relationships is the theme of Libra, and how we move with the other, how we relate with the other. So we get an opportunity during these retrogrades to reflect, to review, and to really restructure and repattern certain things that may not be working for us. And these retrogrades kind of bring this up to the surface. And it could be uncomfortable. Mercury also rules communication, also rules like, networks. So there may be some technical issues that you're dealing with during Mercury retrogrades, communication issues, also misunderstandings in relationships. So stay aware of these things, and try to move into a space of observing yourself in these dynamics, and really looking towards the Piscean themes, which I'm going to get into now, that can kind of help you tune into what is in alignment with your soul's purpose. When we're talking about Pisces, we're talking about spirituality, we're talking about dreams, we're talking about beyond the astral realm, those things that are beyond this world. And Pisces, this full moon is in Pisces with Neptune in retrograde. So Neptune is the planet of Pisces. So there's a powerful oomph that this connection is bringing to us, and is giving us an opportunity to have a deep release. And that might come with a little bit of reflection. So how do we get through the themes that may be coming up for us with this retrograde? Looking to things, themes of Pisces, like going into deep reflection and deep letting go. And what does that look like? That could look like lightness. You could be feeling lighter as you move through these things, but you can also be feeling exhaustion and really rest. Like, I can't even begin to stress this more. And I feel like I'm always repeating myself with a lot of my, clients and stuff, because we don't know how to rest, and we need to realize that some of us just don't, and make a conscious effort to, when we do quote unquote rest, that we really are resting, that we're not thinking about all the things that we have to do, why we feel guilty about not doing them, how we feel unproductive when we're not doing something. This is really bringing an opportunity for us to move forward in a balanced way, where we're being and we're doing. When we're talking about Pisces, we're talking about moving towards our spiritual growth, talking about moving towards our soul's purpose, what's in alignment with our soul. I mean, this is just beyond physical, emotional, mental. We are connecting at a soul level here. And it's time to make space. So let go, let go, let go. In this full moon, we have an opportunity for a deep release. And if that deep release hasn't come up yet, don't rush it. When you go to release something, when we go to let go something, give it enough time and make sure that these are the things that you want to let go of. It's important, because sometimes we get really hurt and desperate, or in grief, and this is understandable, but we may make impulsive decisions as to what we want to let go of and what's not serving us. And, and I really, really want you to go into deep reflection when it comes to these things that we are looking at now. What are you ready to let go of that you've been holding on to? Like, this is something that whatever it is, it has served its purpose for your spiritual growth. It's time to let it go. Is there something that you've been overly attached to that is not connecting you? For me, it's been a lot about my body. This has been happening in my 6th and 12th house, and there's been a lot going on there for me in those houses, and it's really about the pain in my body and how I disconnect from that pain, and I don't really own that pain. But it's really, really hard when I've been holding on to it for so long. It's almost like my body is resisting letting go of it, you know. So what do? I reach out for help. I call my spiritual healers. I call people that can help me move through this. And then I move and I get the space. I mean, I get the work that I need. So how is that coming up for you? Is it time to make space for something new? Is there an opportunity that has been knocking that will help you move forward, but it can't happen without this other thing being purged and let go of? So I want you to ask yourself these questions and really move into deep reflection. And what gets you into deep reflection? Sometimes it's rest and nurturing, you know, because energetic release can be really heavy sometimes. And we don't know that we're carrying it around until we actually release it. And that can come along with exhaustion, like I mentioned, and sometimes grief, because when we've been holding on to things for a while, we tend to have grief around that when that has to go. So have a lot of grace, nurture yourself, really understand that what's happening is a recalibration of your mind, your body, and your soul. Okay. With Virgo, it's about the mind and the body. With Pisces, it's about the soul. So this opposition, this full moon, is really reminding us that we need to meet in the middle of Pisces and Virgo. It is important to do. It's important to take care of our body, be physical, really take our supplements, eat right, or whatever it is that is important to you. But it is also important to get connected spiritually and that everything is in alignment and working. So this moon can bring in some healing and compassion and make us understand also in a relationship level that we are here for each other. So what is getting you closer to unity? What is getting you closer to the themes of Pisces, where we are all one? And that's a little bit really, really hard to see nowadays. But we are being reminded with the illumination of this full moon that there is truth to that, and that we need to bring in compassion into our hearts for not only ourselves, but each other. So allow that recalibration to happen. Move into a space of knowing that that is what's happening. So if it's showing up where you're like, why am I so exhausted? Or, man, why am I so anxious? Or, you know, why am I not sleeping? Have a knowing, bring down the nervous system. Pisces rules the nerves in a different way, but Pisces could be anxious, could be nervous. So it may be expressing itself in a certain nervousness. So move through that space with grace, rest, nurture yourself. Energetic work is not easy and it could take a toll, and it could possibly take a toll in your body. So have a lot of patience with yourself and compassion, because that kind of emotion really starts with you. Remind yourself that we can't have that kind of emotion for others if we don't have it for ourselves. So I feel that all the themes of retrograde that have been coming up, look towards this Pisces Virgo dynamic, this axis, and see where you can find balance in the middle of things that need to get done and then things that just need to be. And where is it that you can let go so that you can move forward? Okay? Thank you, comadres. Thank you for always being so open and trusting me. These phases of the moon, like following these full moons and new moons, have really created a lot of change in my life as far as my divine feminine and how I work with that energy in my body. So I hope that it is working for you and that you're finding these useful. I've been doing these for a long time, so I'm going to ask you that whenever this is posted in the Moon Report section in Mighty Networks, if you can leave a little feedback as to maybe more information that you want to know, or maybe something that you would like to change. I enjoy doing these, and I'm really wanting to know if these are working for you. So please be open, give me your feedback, tell other comadres that you think might be interested. We've created a super lovely space here, and we would love to see new faces around here. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Mwah. Big hug. I hope that this full moon illuminates you in ways where you can come closer to that soul's purpose, to that reason that you're here and that mission that you have. So tons of love. Thank you, thank you. Ciao.